first off, it's pretty clear that they've made their decision on Johnny Manziel. They have long ago missed the window to put him in, leave him in to see if he's a viable guy. That train has left the station. The Dallas Cowboys have won 2 playoff games in 19 years. They're last in the NFC East right now. Cumulatively, since the turn of the century, they are average. They're below average. They're below 500. It would not surprise me at all that the Dallas Cowboys would take Johnny Manziel and add him to that mess.
That was Brian Billick.
What mess?
A dream. I called it a dream. Talking about a potential move of Manziel to the Cowboys. Our Adam Schefter reported yesterday that we shouldn't be surprised if Johnny Football finds a home in Big D, saying it would be very Jerry-like for him to make a play for Manziel this winter. Skip?
By the way, I think Brian Billick's has been listening to you too much on the show. Or did you call him and prep him for that segment on Mike and Mike?
And prep him, yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me at all because contrary to what you want to admit, an awful lot of people listen to me.
Oh, I don't doubt that. They listen, but they don't believe all the time. That's all.
The facts speak for themselves. Usually, eventually.
So by the way, were my Cowboys below average last year? Were they below average the first 2 games of this year?
They weren't below average last year. They weren't below average the first 2 years. But out of the last 19 years, you got a year and 2
that's
games.
Ancient history.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Everything turned around when Tony Romo grew up last year for the first time at age 34.
They're 3-8 now.
Yeah, because Tony Romo hasn't been playing.
Don't give me because. Don't give me because.
Okay, he's hurt. My quarterback's hurt, and my best wide receiver. We're getting there. We're getting there, but I resent the fact that my Cowboys have been turned a mess.
You resent it all you want. They are a mess.
They're not a mess right now.
They're a mess.
Did you not say, did you not agree that if Romo had been healthy and Dez had been healthy, they would have run away with the NFC? Run away with the NFC.
I believe, but I don't know.
I live in reality.
You believe.
How much winning can they do without a coach?
Back to my guy, Johnny Manziel.
Go ahead.
Okay, now I got to get serious for 1 second here, okay? Dead serious.
No problem.
I still believe, we believe, Johnny Manziel has unaddressed off-field issues that I believe would rear their ugly head no matter where he's playing. He could be playing in Anchorage right now, and I think he would still have issues unaddressed. It's not a product. These issues aren't a product of your environment. They're a product of what's inside you. He's got issues he did not fix in his couple of months in rehab last offseason. Okay, so I'm going to accept that before I go forward with this.
Got it.
We need to get those fixed, addressed, under control. If he does, I believe he belongs with my Dallas Cowboys. Johnny Manziel is a Texas kid who lights it up on a Texas-style stage. He was never meant for Cleveland, and Cleveland didn't want him. At least the organization didn't want him, and we've talked about this. Only the owner wanted to draft him on draft night. Only the owner, not the GM, not the head coach, not the coordinator. So it's wrong place, wrong time, wrong fit. I don't believe Johnny ever felt like a Cleveland kind of guy. We know he was close with LeBron and his crew, but LeBron's a Cleveland guy because he was born and raised just down the road, okay, in Akron. Okay, Johnny never fit there, and he would fit like crazy on the Dallas stage. Now, we know Dallas can be a sin city for Dallas Cowboys, many of whom, and I've written about many Dallas Cowboys who've succumbed to Big D's temptations off the field. They are there. I acknowledge all that. But when did Johnny rise and shine the brightest while he was a college football player? Against Nick Saban's Alabama Crimson Tide. Am I right about that?
That's correct.
He goes in there his first year of starting and beat the Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa. Then back at College Station, remember, it was the 3rd game of his final year. It was 49-42 Alabama, but Johnny lit it up. What did he throw? 446, 5 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? On big national stage TV? He's a Texas kid on a Texas stage. He was made for he was born to play at Jerry World. That's just my opinion. That again, I realize the limitations. Little under 6 feet tall. You have to do what he does best. But we have not seen remotely the best of Johnny Manziel, in part because of his off-field issues, and in part because he's playing for a completely unskilled off. It's the worst skilled players on offense of any team in the National Football League. He has the worst weapons, and his coaching staff never wanted him to play in the first place. That's a double jeopardy combination right now that you are going to fail at. And despite that, we have seen flashes of him this year where we all agreed, well, looks pretty good. That looks like he could be a player. Okay, you put him in the Cowboy offense. If you tailored it around him on that stage, I promise you it would be big time. Now, Jerry would love it because it would be big box office. But I wanted Jerry to draft him. I know they picked Zach Martin, who immediately, first year out, made a Pro Bowl, All-Pro. He could be a Hall of Fame guard. I thought they had enough depth at that position. They would have been okay without Zach Martin. And with Johnny Manziel, I'm going to say it again, if he had been able to sub for Tony Romo this year, he would have won 3 or 4 of those games that they couldn't win without Tony Romo. And he'd still be there right now, and they might make some late run at the playoffs right now, because I think with Johnny, they would have been in first place already.
Skip Bayless, this is why if we ever part ways, you will miss me. Because you see,
I'm not sure about this.
You would miss, you would miss me. You would miss me. Here's why, Skip Bayless. Nothing about what you have said.
Oh, here we go. But
with you, it is a mistake to challenge the facts because you always know what you're talking about. But to make your argument stronger, you always leave stuff out.
Oh, okay.
So before I go into my little soliloquy, I would ask you this question. Skip Bayless, let me go Skip Bayless on you for a second. Is it possible that you are leaving a few things out because this is your guy? It's a guy you thought should have been picked first overall.
I did.
It's a guy
Houston,
that you believe
Hometown
in.
team.
It's a guy that you believe in. It's a guy that you want desperately to be successful because you like him and you wish him nothing but the best. Is it possible?
That's true.
Because here's the deal. In all seriousness, off the field, and I'm going to lean on you with this because it's not fair because, you know, you with how open you've been about your family in all seriousness, listening to Chris Carter talk about some of his trials and tribulations, he says it doesn't matter where Johnny is because Johnny's issues are Johnny's issues and they're going to follow him wherever he go until he deals with it. But I'm one of those guys that lives by the credo, Molly, Skip, that it's not about resisting temptation. It's about avoiding temptation.
I agree.
I think that's how you do it. Like if you're a married man,
Yep.
if you go to the strip club every week or you party in the club every night, you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
You don't put yourself in those situations.
You gotta avoid the situations.
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is that, look, man, we're talking about Dallas, Texas. We're talking about the Cowboys. We're talking about the billion-dollar playpen. We're talking about football's ultimate version of Showtime in terms of environment. It doesn't resonate with you that the possibility of Johnny in that environment spells even more trouble as opposed to less?
Does
Why? Go, the floor is yours. How is that? I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
Would you allow me to get personal for one
Please,
second?
please.
Quick second.
Yeah,
I'm asking, really.
Grew up with 2 alcoholic parents. Father drank himself to death. Mother nearly killed herself in a car accident driving drunk. Went to Alcoholics Anonymous and got sober and has remained sober for many years now. Never misses a meeting. Every Monday night she's at her AA meeting. She says, if I miss, I'll fail. I'm an alcoholic. I have a disease. One drink, I'm over the edge. So after my father died, she remarried. I go home for Christmas, and her new husband has beer in the refrigerator. And I was outraged. I went to my mom. What are you doing? You got beer in the refrigerator? You're an alcoholic. You know, do you want?
Yeah.
She said, totally good with it. Totally cool. Because she had beaten it. She got a hold of it. So I'm just saying, my mom's living with temptation in her kitchen. Every time she opens the refrigerator, there's a beer. If you beat it, you can beat it. It's all around. Alcohol is everywhere in the society. You can't just lock yourself up in your room. You got to figure out that you just can't do it anymore, okay?
Allow me to get a little personal.
Right.
Blessed that my immediate family, none of these issues. But whether it's cousins, aunts, uncles, friends, wasn't alcohol, it was crack.
Yeah.
It was crack cocaine.
Sure.
All around. These folks couldn't go near it. Because if they went near it, they were going to succumb to it. And that was where I got the line, because one of them said to me that, hey, my line was, you can't get addicted to something you never try. So I've always avoided stuff like that, because I saw you read enough, you see enough eyewitness accounts where you see the power of addiction. So guess what? You can't catch me if I never even try it.
Yep.
The flip side to it, because they tried it and because they were addicted to it, they had to do everything to avoid it. I'm saying to you.
Did they go through a 12-step program?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Yes, they did. Several times. Didn't matter. Okay. I mean, Lord, it's like you get around and sniff it, it's over, okay? It's like, it's that bad.
Yep.
So what I'm saying to you is this. I think about what you're saying, and I totally appreciate it, because you know I don't. Chris Carter knows I don't. What I'm saying is that my mentality is that you don't want to be in Cleveland. It's a bad environment for you. You're not happy there. You're looking for some kind of outlet. You're susceptible to things on that level. Yeah. That's fair. But then the flip side is going somewhere else, and everything is heavenly. It's everything you want. The crew, the environment, the sizzle, the pizzazz, the headline, and all.
I lived there for 16 years.
And I'm saying, even though Houston's a fabulous city,
it is.
Unlike Houston, all right? Unlike San Antonio. Unlike some of these other, Dallas is a bit special.
It's Hollywood.
And I'm saying it's Hollywood, man. It's Hollywood.
Yep.
And so I'm like, really, y'all want him there? There? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no doubt that he'll perform, that he'll do everything he can to live up to expectations. I'm just saying that listen, I'm not a psychologist here, and I don't want to put Johnny on the couch, because that's his business. I wish nothing but the best for the brother. Yeah. But I'm just saying that being in that environment where Jerry Jones is a little loose, it's like, look, have a good time, enjoy yourself, just be ready to perform. That's Jerry, and it's like, wait a minute. 2 playoff victories in 19 years. What exactly is the standard? So all of those things coupled, if it were the Patriots, where you're winning 10, 11, 12 games every year, and you're legitimately a Super Bowl title contender for over a decade, and there's a standard that's been established by Bill Belichick and the great Robert Kraft, then that's different. But because we're talking about the Cowboys, who's got 2 playoff victories in 19 years, okay? Their definition of success to me is entirely different than that of the Patriots. So if you come there and you manage to be respectable, and let's compete for a playoff spot, and let's get in the postseason.
I got it.
Wow. The standard is lower.
All right, but remember, I think in Dallas, Johnny would get so excited and so confident in his opportunity on that stage that he would finally prioritize football over partying. Right now, it feels like partying is sort of 50-50 with football. That's how I get it.
And I'm saying to you, I ain't thinking about just the season.
Well,
I'm thinking about the off season.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it all.
Okay, you either regain control of this or you don't.
You can get into into trouble everywhere. That's for sure.
I know that,
but some are more distracting than others. I get it.
That's all I'm saying.
No, get what both of you are saying there. Let's move on now. Tom Brady has his teammates' back and I guess their legs. Brady speaks out on why his pass catchers' legs need to get the same protection as other positions, quarterbacks, pass rushers. Do the guys agree, and will that change happen? That's the topic when we come back.